What is going on, mortals? Mortal T here, and welcome back to some more Ark Survival Evolved for another reactive video. Today, we are going to be reacting to the top 10 best creatures to tame in Ark Survival Evolved. Yes, the very best, the pinnacle. Just in relation to how easy it is to tame, or the abilities, or its harvest techniques, how much it gets, so on and so forth. It can vary in many different ways, but this can be applied to new players come to Ark, or pre-existing players in Ark already that don't really know about these creatures. So today I am hanging out on my aircraft carrier, or my flying dino carrier, as you can see behind me. Make sure you go and check out my channel for really cool building videos, or just more react videos. But with that out of the way, let's get to the video.
Now coming in at number 10, we have the Androsaurus.
So, the Androsaurus is number 10. A recent addition to Ark, believe it or not. Well, recent-ish, I'm going to say.
And if you are playing on Fjorda, which you most likely will be, these guys are the perfect mount to get started on this map. In terms of taming, they are super easy to get. All you need to do is find these beehives.
Now, I disagree with how it says it's super easy to get, because it's really not.
You simply approach the Androsaurus, throw the honey on the floor for
and I say this because it's not that easy to get honey. The taming ability, the taming thing is rather easy, but the ability to get honey isn't quite as easy as he made it look to be. Yes, they are pretty fast. They have some cool abilities. They have the ability to like turn 180 degrees. As long as your camera is looking the opposite way, it can literally just turn and flip. I don't know if it shows you on this one. Really, really cool. Yep, just like that. It skids around. Very, very nice. So, I do kind of agree with him. It is a very nice tame to have. It's reasonably easy if you can get your hand on the honey that is needed. Pretty fast. It can turn pretty darn quick. It can swim / walk underwater, which is kind of mad. And its upgraded saddle is really, really good. It's like a metal box that surrounds you. And it can protect you from a huge amount of attacks. So it's pretty darn good. But let's move on.
The Cjthecheesedj is a great addition to any tribe's dinos, as long as they're doing some sort of fighting. The Cjthecheesedj is able to provide a buff to your dinos, causing them to deal increased damage, as well as reduce the amount of damage that they
very
take.
nice dinosaur to have.
The Cjthecheesedj is a simple knockout tame. You can see
yeah, it is a very knockout tame.
It's a 2x2.
So pretty easy to do as long as you can knock it out. Obviously, he's showing you the best way to do it.
You have the saddle for it. You can ride it, and it can do.
Yeah, its roar is its best ability to either intimidate or encourage dinos. Very, very cool.
Your dinos by 15%, causing them to deal extra damage and take reduced damage.
Yes, very, very nice.
Roar also causes nearby wild dinos and tame dinos of enemy tribes to do less damage to you, making these guys great for doing boss runs as well as PvPing with other players. Now coming in at number 8, we have the Cinomacrops. Now this guy is exclusively found on Lost Island, unless you are on PC, in which case there is a mod that you can use to bring the Cinomacrops, as well as all Lost Island dinos, to the other maps. These guys are great. They act as a
I do kind of agree with this one.
They are able to glide and fly as well.
Because of the glide and fly maneuver, and they go on your back.
Altitude using the Cinomacrops and holding down the jump key, and you can also move slightly while flying with these guys in the air. When you're ready to go gliding, you can activate C, and these guys will act very similarly, if not exactly the same, as the glider found on Aberration.
Absolutely agree with this one. It is one to get, but unfortunately they only appear on one map, which is kind of doo-doo in my opinion.
need to.
But yeah,
As well as that,
the ability
these guys
for
are
it to go on your
capable of
back, you
scaring
can
away
fly
smaller
and
victims of
glide,
prey,
so it
such
can
as
save you
bears and pigmies,
from
wild
creatures
rabbits,
on the
all that
ground that are
sort of
trying
stuff.
to come and
Now,
get
as
you.
well
You
as
can
that, these
jump
guys
up and
also have
fly.
inventory
Very,
that
very
you can use.
nice. Or if you're running away and you've just fell off a cliff, or there is no way out and you have to jump off a really high place, having one of these on your back is very, very nice, because obviously you're not going to take any type of fall damage as long as you can either get the flying ability going or the glide ability. Very, very easy and very, very nice to have. They're just a very kind of cute pet to have, which is very, very cool. So yeah, I agree with that one. Let's move on.
Argentavis. Now, in order to tame up an Argy,
So we
what you
have the
simply need is
Argentavis.
an Argy trap.
Very, very
Now,
nice.
this enables
Probably
you to
one
get
of
in there with the Argy
the
and then to
best
simply
flyers in
slide.
Ark
You
Survival
can do this
Evolved.
with the Pteranodon as well, and the Argy should be well and truly stuck once inside of the trap. Now, the only thing is this might be slightly too large for the Argy. Nope, it appears to be a-okay. So simply cut the Argy inside of the trap once it's done harvesting the various bodies located around it. Bro, come on inside of the trap for me, please. You're making me look like a fool. Inside the trap. There we go. You can see that once it's inside the trap, simply close the gate and you'll have yourself a trapped Argy. From here on out, it's a simple knockout tame, and then you need to feed it mutton and prime meat or any sort of kibble that you have. Now, once...
So, yet again, when Ark first came out, this was the best flyer by half to have. Had a reasonable amount of health, it had a reasonable amount of movement speed, and a very good amount of weight. Obviously, yet again, when Ark first came out, you could actually adjust the movement speed stat, which was very, very cool. So this was like the flying creature to get no matter what. But these days there are so many different types of flying creatures you can get. All depends on what you're going for, from speed to weight. And then to health, it's entirely up to you. But the Argentavis is still kind of the standard flyer that honestly I would recommend to any type of person who is trying to get a flyer. Obviously, the first flyer you should get is a Pteranodon, which is right behind me. As you can see, that is just built for speed. But the Argentavis is a good overall flyer, so I would recommend. So yeah, I do kind of agree with him with that one. Very nice dino to get and have.
Daynopus. Now, the Daynopus
So they
is
have the
found
Daynopus
on Valguero and Fiorda. These guys are
only
super
spawn on 2
easy
maps, so
tames
keep
to
that
get,
in
my
mind.
opinion, and they have one of the best attacks that is just so good. The fact that they can take down the dragon boss is pretty much the #1 reason why they are at number 6 on this list. At first, they don't look all that menacing compared to some of the other dinos found on this list.
Now, they don't look menacing, but they look amazing.
Amounts of damage to high health targets. Now, in order to obtain a Daynopus, you will need
Yeah,
to
you
find
have to
their
find
nests,
one of
which
the
are
nests.
generally guarded by more Daynopus. However, the nests on Fiorda are super easy to find and
Yep,
get
they
access
are
to,
indeed.
and they generally are quite a lot of them. If you have a flyer or a decent amount of movement speed, you can outrun the
So yeah,
Daynopus
if you got your Sonona crops, as in the video, this would make this very, very easy to get one of these eggs, get the egg, and fly off with the cinema crops, and you're home and free, hatch your egg, and you have one of these guys. Yep, very, very nice. No fall damage whatsoever. Very, very cool. And it kind of glides as well. Oh, and now it's raining. That's very, 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 very nice. So yeah, that's not that very cool. So yeah, okay, agree with that kind of. No fall damage, pretty good for damage and everything. But yeah, I'm gonna get his shelter, and we're gonna come back. So we are back and we are in shelter, so let's just get straight to the next one. So we're moving on to the Rock Drake, an absolutely OP dino because of all its really, really cool abilities, features and mechanics. Very cool.
Versatility and usefulness. Now these guys only spawn on Fjorda and Aberration, and in order to tame one up, you have to get their eggs. Very similarly to the Daynopus.
Top 10 creatures that you should tame.
These guys have an abundance of abilities. They have the ability to glide, very similarly to snow owls. And
like I said at the beginning, OP Dino has a lot of abilities. Can go invisible. It can go pretty darn fast. It can jump, glide, fly, and its ability to climb any surface that it comes in contact with. Very cool. Absolutely amazing OP Dino that you could possibly get your hands on. So yeah, totally agree. Rock Drake, you should get one of them if, and that's a very big if, you can get your hands on them, because obviously they only spawn on 2 maps, so that means you can only get the eggs on 2 maps. Kind of unfortunate, but still a creature that I would recommend getting. So, with the Rock Drake out of the way, let's see what we've got for the next one.
These guys are going to be your bread and butter for dealing with bosses.
So, we have the T-Rex.
These guys are
nothing, well, I want to say nothing can beat the T-Rex, but nostalgia-wise, nothing can beat the T-Rex. It's probably the most commonly known dinosaur in existence. Everyone wants one. Everyone wants to ride one. They are absolutely amazing. With the TLC update that they did as well, they made them look even better. And just for damage and intimidation, you want one of the T-Rexes. You just want a T-Rex. Everyone. If you're playing Ark, you're guaranteed you're going to tame a T-Rex. Very cool dino. And if you don't get one, there's something wrong with you, because everyone wants a T-Rex. Everyone does. But let's move on.
Argentavis. These guys are found where gigas spawn, and they do potentially spawn in.
Oh god, so another reasonably new creature.
However, do keep that in mind, and these guys are significantly stronger, in my opinion, than Giga. Now, taming a Karcha is a relatively simple, also difficult process to tackle. In order to do so, I found trapping it to be the more easier way to do so. However, you don't necessarily need to trap it. Simply present the Karka with a corpse. It can either be your tamed dinos or a wild corpse. Obviously, tamed dinos are going to be much easier to get for yourself, especially
if you don't know how to tame any of these dinos that you've seen, mortals, make sure you go and check out my channel. I have done a series where I tamed every tameable dino in Ark Survival Evolved. Make sure you go and check out that series.
Wild dinos or your own tamed dinosaurs in order to tame up the Karcha. Once you've tamed it up, this guy is an absolute monstrosity. He does an absurd amount of damage on par with the Giga, and he's also able to receive multiple buffs from killing more and more dinos. For every dino that he kills, he will deal more damage in the long run of things. You can see he hits for about 380. However, once we start getting our first kill, we will get a speed boost as well as a damage boost as well. That will follow up as long as we maintain it in the bottom left hand corner.
Well, there you go. It is a very nice dino to have if you can get your hands on one. As dangerous, if not more dangerous than a Giga, which is just huge. It's more, a Giga is more dangerous than a T-Rex, and I would say that this guy is more dangerous than a Giga. The Giga and this guy are roughly about the same size though, which is very nice, but I think this guy just looks better. The Giga is kind of a basic T-Rex kind of thing. This guy's got a bit more detail to him, which is very nice. Like I said, its abilities, very cool as well. For every kill that it gets a buff in its speed and its damage, so you can chain all these together and get huge amounts of speed and huge amounts of damage. It's very nice to have if you can get your hands on one, but they are rather dangerous, so it can be kind of hard to get one. So keep that in mind, mortals, before you go trying to chase one of those down. But let's move on.
Mewing. Now, the Mewing is obviously one
We
of
got
the
the
best dinos
Mewing.
in Ark, in my opinion. It's a super simple, easy tank.
Very
to get.
cute.
It's got a ton of abilities. It's great at getting around. It can harvest meat, berries, anything you want. It also produces
Got some
eggs
really
of
cool
various
abilities.
tiers, so you can make unlimited kibble with their eggs.
Yeah.
They are able to breed with themselves regardless of their genders.
So
And
if you want to know how to tame one of these, make sure you go and check out my channel as well.
For babies, and they can steal enemy players' babies as well. These guys can do everything, and they are one of the best dinos in Ark, in my opinion.
Yes, in my
Now,
opinion, they are as well.
They are very...
And tell you, its ability to drop any egg is amazing. So if you don't know, that's kind of its like really cool feature. That every dino in Ark only drops a certain type of egg. Obviously, if it's a T-Rex, it drops a T-Rex egg. If it's a Quetzal, it drops a Quetzal egg, and so on and so forth. But the Mewing has the ability to drop any egg. Any egg in Ark from a dino can come out of this one creature. So T-Rex egg, Mewing can drop it. Quetzal egg, Mewing can drop it. Bronto egg, the Mewing can drop it. Any creature you can name that lays an egg, the Mewing can do it as well. Like I said before, if you don't know how to tame one of these, make sure you go and check out my video. I give you all the abilities that it has with all the percentages of the egg drops that the Mewing can drop. So you know what percentage that certain type of egg that you're going to want is going to come out. It gives you the ability to create all the kibble that you're ever going to need. It's a very good dino, and honestly, at number 2, I don't disagree with it. To be perfectly honest with you, it is a very useful, all around dino. So it's very nice to have, and honestly, it looks so cute that why wouldn't you want one? They're just amazing. But let's move on to the last dino, shall we?
Now, these guys are found on Genesis Part 2 as well as Fjorda, and in my opinion, these
so
guys
we
are
have
the,
the Shadow
Mane
Mane.
you can get on Ark.
Honestly, I don't disagree. It is OP dino, absolutely OP, amazing to look at, amazing to ride.
Saber-toothed salmons, it can be whatever kind of fish you want it to be. Now, you can reset the spoiler timers on these by releasing them back in the water. However, do have extra fish traps ready in order to do so. Saber-toothed salmons are also the best way to tame up the Shadow Manes, so you want to make sure that you have a bunch of saber-toothed salmons. Now, once you've got your fish basket and your Shadow Mane in sight, all you need to do is then approach it. Now, I would recommend approaching it from its
it is a weird tame mechanic, because it's not a knockout tame.
Hit E on it to feed it the fish basket.
As you can see, as soon as you feed it, it goes invisible and just moves. It goes away, and it can hunt you.
Up a Shadow Mane, there are 2 variants, the male and the female. The female does have a smaller crest and slightly different abilities in comparison to the male. However, you can see here these 2 are males, and you can see here is a female with the smaller mane. Now, the Shadow Manes receive a pack buff as well as one of them being designated the Alpha, and you can tell that by the glow found on it.
Yeah, really cool. I've actually got a Shadow Mane. Let me quickly go over it and show you right now.
As well as that, they also gain access to their abilities, to one of their extra abilities, while there is a female present, so I would recommend bringing the female with you. Now, the Shadow Mane has the ability to do a roar, which will enable you to deal more damage as well as recover more stamina and be quicker as well. You can see there we just hit 350 damage. These guys also are not imprinted, and they come with an automatic armor of 80 because they are 150. Now, these also scale depending on the level of the Shadow Mane. Lower levels will result in lower armor, but a 150 will give you 80 armor Shadow Mane, which is absolutely awesome. You will take minimal damage while riding around on your Shadow Mane like this. And you can see the amount of damage that we are dealing. Once you've charged up enough attacks, you can see that bar is now filled up. You can hold down your primary key, and this will cause you to deal a charged primary attack, which does a larger amount of damage as well. These guys are awesome for that. They also have a Thorn Mail effect, where if you get attacked, the target is poisoned and will deal less damage to you, and they will take more damage from you as well. Now, as well as that, they also have a teleporting strike attack, which you can use when there are wild dinos in the vicinity, causing you to teleport strike them and any of the dinos in the area. This also disables flyers for a few seconds and slows down other dinos as well. You can see how slow that Pteranodon is going. Now, they also have the ability to cloak. There are a lot of abilities for the Shadowmane, and this makes them just, in my opinion, one of the best dino, the best dino you can get in Ark. So like I said, you can cloak as well.
So yeah, like he said, the Shadowmane has so many abilities, it's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. The ability to cloak itself, just like the Rock Drake, fantastic. But it can also teleport, which is what? Teleport? That's amazing. Also acts as a pack animal, so it gets increased stuff in things, attack, health, speed. It's amazing. Along with all its other unique attack abilities, it just makes this dino super OP. It can run really fast. It can swim really, really good. It can jump really, really far and long and high. It's just so cool. This creature is by far, in my opinion, the best dino in Ark Survival Evolved. It doesn't just have all those abilities. It looks amazing. If you mortals disagree with me and you have your own favourite dino in Ark Survival Evolved and you think it outbeats any one of these, let me know down in the comments below. I'll be happy to read them and see what you mortals think. But I hoped you enjoyed, mortals. Hope you kind of found it somewhat useful because of the types of dinos in here. And I'll hopefully see you in the next video.